15 minutes, rest 45. That's the work. That's the work rest cycle for black ball. They said, oh, the black ball ain't over 100. We like, what the fuck you mean it ain't over 100? The forecast today said 117. And then the dude took they came out there and measured it. It was 147 where we were at. Out on the pad, right there where the Jets take off, and it was 147 degrees on the ground.
Nope.
And they said it was 94 wet globe black ball. 94. They kept our ass out there, man. When I say that was the most tiring shit I ever experienced in my life, like you'll be so tired because you working 8 hours straight in 150-degree weather. 8 hours straight. Maybe 30-minute break.
They would have been so mad at me.
You don't even want to be sociable when you get off work. People, they want to go drink and, congregate somewhere else and go kick it with each other. Nah, I'm going home. Fuck y'all. It was hot. I'm tired. I done drank a gallon of water and I'm still dehydrated.
Jeez.
That was a different time back then. I'm so glad I don't have to live that life no more. So glad.
Man. All I'm gonna say is that it's good to be back. Especially after that Buster. Man, listen. I don't want to hear nothing else about that dunk competition. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
That is comical at this point. And whoever said LeBron ruined the dunk competition, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because we had good dunk competitions since he's been in the league. So to try to blame him is blasphemous. Like, let's go back to the Zach LaVine days, the Aaron Gordon days. Hell, give me Nate Robinson trying 1,000 attempts, but it at least being a good dunk. This dude pulled out a 50. Like, yeah, I just did a dunk that was first done in 97. That dunk is older than him. And at this point, it's not something that we haven't seen. You don't get 50s for repeated shit that actually ain't that hard. You stuck your arm in the rim. First time we seen it, but let's not forget, he also did a 360 windmill in that same dunk competition. So Vince Carter did more than just stick his arm in the rim. He stuck his arm in the rim and said 50. Everybody in there looking around. I was dying laughing.
It was. I want to be able to come on here and be able to have competent conversation about NBA topics. I do. I really do. The NBA gives me nothing to talk about.
Oh, no, that's not true. We got Kyrie to Dallas. Like, it's been a while now. We got some shit to talk about. John Morant said he the best player in the league. He said he is the best in the league.
I mean, okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the trade. Kyrie didn't get an extension, so he demanded a trade. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him demanding a trade.
Are you okay with the landing spot?
I'm more okay with Brooklyn being like, you know what? Cool, you want to trade? You are not going to LA. Now, the question is Dallas going to give him $200 million?
No.
A max deal? No. Unless he performs. If he comes in and performs and Dallas wins the championship or at least makes it to the Western Conference Finals, Mark Cuban will give him the max. But he's going to have to show him that he deserves it. But Mark Cuban has already shown us that he don't. Look, I'll spend money. He's a billionaire. That shit don't bother him. That shit ain't gonna hurt. Look, as long as it's under the cap, he don't give a fuck because that money ain't hurting him. So if they can afford it, and if they win, pay the man.
I'm trying to think on their roster, who else is up to get paid?
Nobody. They traded
Nobody.
everybody else.
They got rid of everybody.
Else. It's the Great White Hope and Kyrie.
And Kyrie don't play. See, here's the problem with that trade.
Here you go with the
Kyrie
defense because neither one of them play defense.
It's gonna be 220 points on the board every night.
It's a track meet. It's a track meet. You think Usain Bolt ever played defense on a track? No, you just outrun the other person. That's it. Simple. You ever heard the acronym KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. Look, y'all score. We not finna reinvent the wheel. We know neither one of y'all are the most defensive competent. So we just gonna have to scope.
Jason Kidd is your coach. Jason is your. I can't imagine him being like, I can't believe this is my life right now.
I mean, you got with Luka. Luka is. Let me say this in a non-disrespect. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. So when LeBron was in his prime with Kyrie, he didn't have the shooting ability of Luka on top of his driving ability. Luka does almost everything LeBron was doing at that time, except for like the sheer power behind his dunks and the speed. But his driving ability and ability to get to the rim is on par with what LeBron was doing. But he can also shoot the ball at a very high level. Now, when you have a person like Kyrie, who is also an ISO player, he's also a great shooter. We might see Kyrie turn into Ray Allen. And again, I'm not trying to throw no disrespect or shade, in other people's directions. But let's remember, Ray Allen was a slasher when he came in the league. He wasn't the shooter that we know him to be at the end. He was a slasher. He was what Kyrie did. He finished. He finished at the rim. He was a good mid-range. He had the three. But he wasn't dependent upon that. Now, when Kyrie loses a step, because he's already on that track, if he can't turn into that elite spot-up shooter, because he ain't got the size, if he loses his driving ability, Kyrie can be an elite shooter. With Luka Doncic still young, Luka only, 26? 25, 26? That can be a dynamic duo. I'm talking LeBron, Ray Allen.
They ain't gonna be able to pay nobody.
You get 2 max contracts, you good. The Miami Heat did it with 3 max contracts.
But can they bring can those two alone bring a championship?
No. You got to have some defensive players. You need you a Bruce Bowen and Tony Allen. You need somebody that's gonna get dirty.
That dude said Bruce Bowen.
Hey, Bruce Bowen was the GOAT, man. Hey, Greg Popovich put him in an elite class. Do you think the Spurs are as effective as they were without Bruce Bowen playing defense? When they played the Lakers, who held Kobe? They had Bowen on him. Bowen was, he didn't stop him. He ain't stopping Kobe, but he did enough to frustrate him to enough where the Spurs will win.
Man, y'all being so nice. Y'all are being so nice. All right, so problem number 1. Spencer Dinwiddie can score and play defense, but Luka would never give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. Now Spencer is in New Jersey, where he started.
Brooklyn.
So, I'm sorry, Brooklyn. So now we got a team full of Kyrie, the Great White Hype, and a bunch of also dudes. At some point, the also dudes are gonna want to score because they want to improve their negotiating position when it comes to their contracts at the end of this year. This is a recipe for disaster. I give Kyrie a month before he go rogue, because that's just what he do.
I don't see it. Not in this situation, because we're not asking him to be the number one. When he went to Boston, that was a recipe for disaster because they was expecting him to come in and be the be all. Not to mention Gordon Hayward got hurt, so it was just him. A lot of people forget that when Kyrie got there, Hayward got hurt.
Can we just? I'm gonna say this because nobody else want to say this. Gordon Hayward robbed the Boston Celtics with no ski mask in broad daylight with video and never was convicted.
He ain't the first. He ain't the first.
I know. I mean, you're a Houston fan, so Chandler Parsons got his contract.
Wow.
But it's just
you know why? You know why there's rules on rookie contracts now? Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
Greg Oden.
Oh man. And then,
but I can't even knock Greg Oden because he got hurt. Kwame Brown just was never good.
No, he was never gonna be that guy. Never.
He was supposed to be.
That is
the second coming of Shaq.
If there was one thing that the GOAT is gonna have around his neck, Kwame Brown is gonna be the big L around his neck for the rest of his days. But all right.
Hold this L for the rest of your life.
All right, so we got Kyrie in Dallas, and now KD, and shout out
Phoenix.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for giving KD a shot at a chip. However, KD is not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be a problem.
I think he lost that killer instinct, and I don't know why he lost it, but he's not. See, I'm a Longhorn fan, and I had the pleasure of watching Kevin Durant lead the NCAA in scoring. He was scoring almost 30 points a game, and if you don't know, in NCAA basketball, that is a lot. Scoring 30 points a game in college with his 20-minute halves is insane. The killer instinct I'm talking about is that I'm shooting the ball 20 times minimum. I'm shooting. Fourth quarter come, if we barely up, down by a little, enough to come back, I'm shooting. We about to win or lose on my back. That's the killer instinct. That's that Mamba mentality. He ain't got that no more. I watched this man in the second half of the game last year in the elimination game. Scored 6 points in the second half. Took 2 shots in the fourth quarter in a winnable game. And in a winnable elimination game. I lost a lot of respect for him that day. Respect for his game, at least. I don't know the man personally. But I lost a lot of respect for his game when I watched this man not even try. He laid down.
I
think that people expected him to do and be the Kevin Durant pre-injury. Like it's something to be said when you lose the mobility that you had, because you definitely he lost a lot of his mobility. He lost lift. He lost like a lot. If he wasn't the dynamic shooter that he is, will we still be talking about Kevin Durant as a great basketball player? No. You can't be 7 feet tall and you play on the perimeter. And that's what he's become. Like he was so deadly from down low. He was basically unguardable. But now you just put a little weight on him. Oh, my knee.
At least he can still shoot.
He can shoot.
When Sean Kemp lost his bounce, he disappeared.
He became a 400-pound 6'9" dude.
Yep.
Y'all still not talking about the practice cone, because that's the issue with the Phoenix Suns is the practice cone. Chris Paul is going to be the problem because people can single him out and go right at him in pick and roll, and that is going to be the problem. So I don't. He scrimmaged Kevin Durant scrimmaged today, but they haven't set a timetable for him to play. We'll see how that goes. The NBA is a mess. We got a possible 3-time MVP that has never been to the final.
Yeah.
If this man wins another MVP and they don't get to the finals, Denver need to send that man somewhere. Just be respectful. Send that man somewhere where he can win a chip. Send him to New York.
But
so he can get the flowers he deserves.
The biggest
You talking about Chris Paul?
No.
I'm talking about Jokic. 3-time MVP not making it to the final.
I mean, how many times has Chris Paul made the playoffs?
It's never been a problem with him making the playoffs.
He's made it every season. He's been every season he's been a starter in the NBA. He's made the playoffs. How many finals has he made?
Did he make one? He made one, but he was injured. He made one, and he was injured.
That didn't count. That didn't count because he didn't play.
Yeah.
He didn't get him to the finals. So the 1 year the team he on makes the playoffs and he's hurt, that's when they make the finals. He's not it. He's too small in today's NBA to be on the court and during a lot of crucial situations. What do you think happens when they play the Dallas Mavericks? You gonna put Chris Paul on Kyrie?
Oh man,
that won't end well.
That's gonna be 80 points.
that won't end well. Who can he guard on the Dallas Mavericks? Can he guard Ja Morant? Absolutely not. The only guard in the West he actually was able to guard was Donovan Mitchell, and now he's in the East. Now I'm talking about elite teams. I'm not talking, teams that ain't even in the conversation. When they played when they played the Warriors, Chris Paul couldn't hold Steph Curry. How many times he broke his ankles? It was bad. Curry averaged 40 points on CP3. He'll shoot it right in his face. He's too short.
And for Phoenix fans, DK, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because
No, not. He absolutely isn't.
he is laughing at y'all.
He is
Because y'all still
absolutely
believe
laughing at y'all.
the Phoenix Suns believing in Chris Paul is equivalent to Dallas Cowboys fans believing in Dak Prescott.
Wow. Just shot that for no reason.
Did. Okay. Gloves already off. I see.
This podcast it started off real fast. Oh my God.
Dak was just sitting at home and set up. What? We're not even talking about football.
We gonna get to it because we got a Super Bowl to talk about. But I'm just saying, the man when he was with he played for us, and I was saying the same thing while he was with us. So this ain't a shot at the Phoenix Suns at all. This is directly at CP3. It got nothing to do with the Suns. They got nothing to do with them. Love Devin Booker. I hope he gets a ring. But I tell you what, when he does get a ring, Chris Paul won't be the point guard.
Well,
That's just my personal opinion. You can at me at TP_gaming26. You can at me on that one.
it's some personal animosity with TP on that.
Say it with your chest.
But you know,
3-1.
In buyout news,
We were up 3-1. And he couldn't get it done. Him and James Harden went on and missed 27 straight threes in one game. Oh, let me give y'all another stat. Another 3-1. The Clippers were up 3-1 on the Rockets, and guess who was the point guard for the Clippers? Chris Paul.
Oh man.
The only player in NBA history to blow 2 3-1 leads in the playoffs.
Well, I can't even I'm gonna let that breathe a little bit. And
these are facts. Right. These are facts, Marlo. I didn't say nothing that wasn't a fact.
Man, facts are uncomfortable, but they don't hurt nobody.
So here's
they are uncomfortable. It's like sitting on the tack. Like it's uncomfortable, but it's there. Like you don't want it to be there, but it's there, sticky in your ass.
Okay. So we talking about facts. There is a player in the NBA who had 3 straight triple-double seasons averaging, who I don't feel should be in the Hall of Fame.
Does his last name start with a W?
Yep. Mr. Westbrook does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm making a lot of people mad.
If the Hall of Fame was built solely on stats, then you can't keep him out because of that. But if it's only built on stats, if that is the only criteria, we take out who this person is, their personality, the championships they haven't won. If you take that off the table, 3 triple-double seasons is remarkable. On paper. NBA. Mm-hmm. On paper, it is remarkable, especially for a 6'3" guard. That is almost unheard of. Not almost. It is unheard of because it hasn't been done since Oscar Robinson.
Nobody has done that. Nobody. Here's my problem. All of those stats did not translate to winning or even a winning culture.
Well, it
I
wasn't
mean, when
because
you
he
blow
wasn't trying.
when you blow 3-1 leads, oh, that's another guy that blew a 3-point lead in the playoffs in the Western Conference Final to the Warriors. Where didn't Kevin Durant join that team? You know what? That's neither here nor there. But yes, the Oklahoma City Thunder in the season that Russell Westbrook averaged a triple double were up 3-1 on the defending champion, Golden State Warriors. Up 3-1. They lost 3 straight. But if we're basing it solely on stats, then that's the criteria. But if we looking at the career as a whole, then no, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's just been a very good player that can't shoot, who in the fourth quarter turns into a black hole and loses people games, who's been a bad teammate, who's destroyed locker rooms. If we look at all that, he's not a Hall of Famer. The negatives outweigh the positives because he has never won a ring.
I mean, so I felt like I had some stuff to get off my chest, but clearly Marlo TP has been holding some shit.
Didn't I say shit about? Better I say shit else about Chris Paul. He gonna pull a pinky. Ooh, say another motherfucking word.
But it's, you know, the NFL decided to play flag football for their All-Star game. And it was more exciting than the NBA All-Star game. First off, I told my this on the phone. If you're going to grow the game, you're going to have to grow the game through children. So it's going to be 6 to 12-year-olds where you're going to grow the game. Motherfucker, if I got to sit through a 45-minute rap concert before we get to the actual game, never mind the draft. No, fuck that. Y'all can do that draft shit on another day. This is my time. I don't need to be sitting around while y'all come up with your little comedy sketches to try and make it more interesting when you know the game itself, which is the product, is trash.
And if you are so afraid of players getting hurt, move the All-Star weekend to after the season.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like basketball is barely a contact sport.
Like just the I'm all for shooting threes, but there was no back in the day, and I'm finna sound like a boomer. Back in the day, the All-Star game wasn't an All-Star game until the fourth quarter because there was money on the line. Then everybody played defense. These motherfuckers didn't play defense in the fourth quarter. Now, maybe in the last 6 minutes, I don't know, I went to sleep.
We got Damian Lillard just shooting threes from half court just because he can. Look, if you actually was trying to win the game, there's 2 people in the league you don't let cross half court with the ball in their hand. That's Curry and Lillard. If they have the ball at half court, you press them because they can shoot from there. Yeah. That's within their range. That's not a bad shot for them. If he sat in the gym and just practiced that shot, he would make 6 out of 10. That is a good shot.
And they just looked at him shooting like, nah, you got that. This ain't the YMCA. He is in the NBA. He can shoot
that. Him and Steph Curry, what we call in the gym range. The second they touch hardwood, they are within range. They can literally shoot it from anywhere.
Steph Curry don't even have to be on the hardwood. He can be in the stands, as he has proven.
In the gym range. They wasn't playing. It's not interesting. Bring me back to the days where we watched T-Mac go off in the fourth quarter because they wanted to win.
Yep.
I seen Kobe
Yeah.
drop 20 something in the fourth quarter. We want to see shit like that, but not with people not holding them.
You know
When they
what?
did it, they were actually trying to stop them.
Somebody's got to say it. Somebody got to say it, and I'm gonna be the dude to say it. The next one of you young son of a bitches say that the players in the NBA now got more skill, I'm gonna slap the shit out you in church on first Sunday. These dudes don't have more skill. They just play like guards. It's not more skill. Everybody's playing exactly alike. Your big men playing like guards, your guards playing like guards, your swings
Not,
playing like guards.
not
Ain't
Joker.
nobody playing no defense. Nobody.
So let me break down what Troy is telling you young people. Being able to shoot may be a skill, but it's not a multitude of skills. It's one skill. When he's saying they were more skilled back in the day, that means that they can do more things. It wasn't just I can shoot. They had specialty players back then that was your shooter. When the Bulls went, they had two shooters. Two people were allowed to take threes: Steve Kerr or B.J. Armstrong. If you wasn't one of them and you pulled up a three, Zinman gonna take your ass out. Now everybody shoot. My center. Why is my center shooting threes these days? That doesn't mean that you're more. That doesn't mean that you're more skilled. Let's look at how technical Hakeem Olajuwon was. The technical aspect, the back it down, the fake one way, the footwork. We don't see that. We don't see that in today's game. And people don't understand what made Shaq so dominant was his feet work.
Uh-huh.
It was his ability to use his size to get optimal position. That's why we don't see nobody as big as him able to do what he did, is because they don't have the feet. You big as hell with two left feet, you're not gonna be Shaq.
And I'm saying all this because there is this Victor Wembanyama hype. So yes, a dude that's 7 foot whatever can do all this stuff. Yay. Here's the problem. Look at his injury history. We didn't seen this before. Big dude injury history. This ain't the first time.
What's that guy from Gonzaga? Ain't played a minute in the NBA. I called that one. Oh my.
Beanpole was in an exhibition against LeBron, and it's over.
I called it before it happened. I say this, y'all went and drafted this frail guy. And I understand it might be disrespectful to call a grown man frail, but I just call it like I seen it, and I don't care.
He need a pork chop. That's not disrespectful.
I weigh more than him, and I'm 5'9".
Oh my. This boy's about to be the #1 draft pick. And he has spent too much time broken. He's had issues with growing. So for people that don't understand, when your body is unusually large, and for him not necessarily large but tall, he's had some issues with his legs growing. And that has caused some problems. He's still a very young man, so he's still growing into his body, which means it's going to be more injuries. So we can't even, realistically, for 3 years to even take him serious. We might be looking at another Zion.
I think it's a little different. I think we'll be looking at so Yao Ming was not able to last in the NBA because his feet could not hold that much weight with his height and his size. He was 7'6", 300 pounds. His feet and legs literally could not hold that up. If this kid continues to grow and understand that we don't stop growing until we're like 24, 25 is when your body is fully matured. If he gets too big, like too tall, it is going to be more detrimental to his health and longevity in the NBA. Be too big for your britches. You ever heard that? That's literally what it would be.
So, and I just touched on it again. Zion is out yet again, and his team that started off hot is in full free fall.
Yikes.
When we gonna take it serious? Like, you gotta lose weight, dude. Like, being in the gym was one thing, but you gotta lose weight. Like, that mass is just too much. You tried bulking up, that didn't work. You gotta drop pounds. 6'4", 300 pounds. That's insane. That, you know what, Marlo, who that is? That's the meat hook. He is Demetrius Hill.
That's
So,
Patrick Ricard, the fullback for the Baltimore Ravens.
See what I'm saying? There is no reason for him to be that size. But again, like, oh my God, we've been on the air 30 minutes and have had nothing positive to say about the NBA. This oh my God, it's so bad. It is absolutely so bad. And this slogan used to be, I love this game. This game is fantastic. Like, there's nothing fantastic about the NBA. It's just bad. Like, you know what? I'm okay with moving on to the NFL because I feel like Marlo is about to get blessed with Derek Carr, and I'm gonna be pissed off.
We gotta start having an XFL segment because I would rather watch XFL than watch the NBA.
I wanted to talk. Okay, so all right. So here's why I haven't talked
And
about
those
the
games
XFL,
were
right?
actually good. It was actually good football.
In
Josh Gordon's still playing football. Beautiful to see.
Who?
Josh Gordon,
Really?
XFL.
Yeah.
Him and Danucci. Him and Danucci.
But TP, Marlo, somebody got to say it. Paxton Lynch's career is over. He is the only man to get benched in the NFL, CFL, Arena League, and XFL. Who keeps giving this man a job? Like, oh my God.
He must be a practice all-star for him to keep getting starting roles. Just for him to get into the game and lay eggs. The duck.
Oh my
The duck
God.
and he lays eggs in game.
But I will say this: the XFL has come up with some innovative kickoff ideas. It's safe. You ain't got people running down full speed, busting wedges and all of that. So I like that. I like what they got, the 2-point, the 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point extra point. So I think
how do you feel about the no onside, but you get it 4th and 15 on your own 25? So
like it
if you're losing and you score, you don't kick an onside. You just get the ball 4th and 15 on your own 20, 25 yard line.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I like that because it takes. Oh my God, I'm taking away jobs for kickers. It takes it away from kickers and puts it in the hands of the athlete. Because that's, we've been saying that for years, and the NFL's made rule changes because They don't want kickers deciding games, so I actually like it. Now the question is the NFL gonna steal that just like they stole the camera on the wire idea also? So
I like it because, for one, you have a way better shot at converting a 4th and 15 than getting the onside. Less than 10% of onsides are recovered. I mean, if you kicked 100 of them, you might get 8 or 9. You know, we basically saying the game over at that point. The fans want to see more fight. So this is more opportunity for the team to fight back. You know,
Yeah.
in the NBA, when you're down in the fourth quarter, you can go into foul mode, slow the game down. You know, hope they miss. You have more opportunities. There's more back and forth, and I think they're trying to incorporate that into the XFL. I like the idea.
Yeah. We definitely so this week Tampa plays home. So I'm making my business to try and see that game, and I don't know if Marlo got season tickets to that or not, but
I did
we gonna-
not. Like that's a long way to go to unproven anything like that. You don't know what you're gonna get.
but I
I
want
don't
to see
even
what it
know.
looks
You
like.
know, it's mostly family and friends.
It is
Players.
definitely a lot family. They
Family
could
and
probably
friends.
play the game at Yankees Stadium instead of.
I'm gonna put it like this: you can go to any 4A and up high school football game in Texas on a Friday evening, and you'll see more people there than that.
Yeah, that's my point.
Shooting for no reason.
This is a
Oh,
fact.
man.
I'm not throwing no shot. I watched the game. I liked it, but you can go to any 4A and up Texas high school game on Friday evening, and you're gonna see more people. That's a fact.
Oh man.
That's a fact. I'm sorry, like we said, facts they may make you feel uncomfortable, but
Make
they're
them
there.
uncomfortable, but it is what
Well,
it is.
It is what it is. I like it though. I hope the buzz builds around it and it's able to grow, because as an avid football lover, give me football 48 weeks out the year. I'm happy.
Yeah, I like the fact that they do have black coaches. I do like that. They have black head coaches. That's a big thing. And I want to be clear on a few things, because I know sometimes we talk about African American head coaches. When I say African American head coaches, Mike McDaniels in Miami, I do not include him when it comes to black coaches, because it's something that your children can aspire to. And if he does not look like your typical African American, you can't point to him and go, you can do what he did. So that's what I mean by that. It's a little colorism, but facts are facts. You need coaches
it's a lot of colorism.
I'm just saying, it's not even like, okay, so since we're going to, I can't even be like, yeah, the light-skinned brother in Miami. I can't even be that. He's a white guy in Miami that just happens to have a black dad. Like,
first of all,
somebody got to say it.
Nah,
if he got a black daddy,
I don't know, Troy.
He black.
He black.
I don't know what that is.
In the eyes of the white people, he is black.
But and that's what I was saying. For my son, for me able to point and say, you can be like that, the role model for our people has always been someone who looks like us. Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, that's somebody who looked like us. They're part of the entire color spectrum, but I'm just, you know what?
Brother man.
I'm gonna keep going.
Do you know your melanin count? Because Colin Powell, melanin count is way different than you and I.
He's a part of the spectrum. That's what I'm saying. I use a light skinned dude.
So is
Wait,
the
hold
guy
on.
in
Hold
Miami.
on. I guess I didn't know what he looked like. This dude ain't black.
He is. God damn. He got a black
Wait
daddy.
a minute. Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Now, it may have been one of these moments when he was at the hospital and the daddy was like, let me see my child. And he's like, wait a minute. This baby damn near clear.
Oh God.
Who baby is this? Who
Oh,
baby
God.
is this? Well,
You know what?
you don't know how like
You know what? I'm about to just stop right here before this gets disrespectful. I am going to move on to this. No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole today. down into the rabbit hole. Nope, I ain't going.
Well, but the reason I bring that up is Eric Bieniemy is now the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. And I didn't want to talk about this, but this makes no sense.
You think he deserves a head coach job?
He got 2 Super Bowls.
Because he can call plays. You think that make him a head coach?
And Shady McCoy, listen, man, you better be glad Eric Bieniemy is not me. Because the stuff you saying on national TV, it wouldn't even be nothing for me to get in my car and come find you.
What I've heard about Eric Bieniemy is he's not that likable of a person. Now, your head coach don't have to be best friends with everybody, but you can't rub everybody the wrong way either. You see what happened to Brian Flores.
Okay.
So everybody's saying, oh, he's not getting a job because he's black. They clearly don't understand. DeMeco Ryans is not a head coach of the Houston Texans. So black former players are being hired as coaches. Now, for him, what I've heard is that he's not that likable of a person. And they don't trust him as a head coach. He may be a career play caller.
Well, whatever the issues are, if there aren't any issues or if there are issues, it's going to get exposed now. Because he is no longer under that Andy Reid tree. He is out on his own for the most part because, let's be honest, the Commanders, Ron Rivera wants no part of offense. He just wants to make sure the defense plays well. So we're about to see everything right now.
They need a quarterback.
They should probably talk to Derek Carr before he goes to the Bucs, because I'm gonna be pissed off if we give up Derek Carr and he end up with the Bucs, and these some bitches win another Super Bowl.
Why you gonna be
I'm going to jail in Vegas. I'm going to jail in Vegas.
What you mad for, bro? What you mad for? They released this man. First of all, they said, oh, no. Au contraire, mon frère. We ain't got to pay you shit. We can let you go right now. And they did that. So Derek Carr is now at the house like this. Would you come? The doors are open. Our hearts pointed upward. Would you come? And they coming.
You know what?
They coming.
This again, Tom Brady making my life difficult. This bitch could have played another 3 years.
Tom Brady? What? This ninja was 1,000,000 years old, bro. He couldn't move out the pocket in an offense that was predicated on the quarterback at least making somebody miss. Somebody.
I enjoyed watching him not taking hits last year.
Throw it at the running back feet. Throw it at the receiver feet. Oh shit! Let me throw it over his head. I don't want you to get hurt. Let me throw it over your head. Oh shit! Like, come on, bro. Your check down game was something different.
The fact,
you know what, Marlo?
the fact that look, this is what concerns me. The fact that you think that if Derek Carr goes to the Bucks, they'll win a Super Bowl. He is not good.
Oh man,
Shit.
listen,
He is not that guy.
TP.
I need you sound like those same
Derek Carr
Cowboy
owes
fans
TP
that
some
believe
money.
in Dak. No.
I don't think
I'll say
Derek
this.
Carr had nothing to do.
Derek Carr is way better.
Oh
than
my God.
Derek Carr is
But
way
wait.
better than who?
But wait, but see, I thought for a very long time that when Tom Brady retired, like I was not gonna have somebody to be pissed off with. And Aaron Rodgers was like, no, dog, I got you. Hold my beer. Let's see. He starts off the year by telling the whole world that he used Schedule C drugs. Then took $250 whatever million dollars, $60 million this year. 60. And acting like, well, I might show up to work, I might not. You know what, Tom Brady, you go ahead and have a nice retirement. I think Aaron Rodgers got it from here. Because this son of a bitch
He on his way out.
contemplates showing up to work.
I
Like,
saw Aaron Rodgers after some of them losses. He looked so uninterested in what was going on. If we just lost and I don't give a fuck was a person, that was Aaron Rodgers this year.
Aaron
and that's
Rodgers
$60 million.
talking about getting to the retreat.
Y'all understand, if I'm in that locker room and my quarterback is worth $60 million and he won't throw to the young wide receivers, yeah, I might catch Aaron Rodgers out by his car. I might get cut that day.
I mean, they turned it on at the end of the year. He was throwing to what's his name, Watson. He was throwing it up to Watson. You know?
Yeah, what, 12 games later?
Yeah.
But this is the same man that in a press conference said he ain't got nobody to throw to.
And I don't think he ever looked at a Buccaneers tape when he said that. Tom Brady could have said, I don't have nobody to throw to. Oh, my God.
Every wide receiver in that locker room, like, well, I guess it's fuck me then.
Speaking of right receivers and fuck me, what do you think about how the Raiders did Devontae Adams?
He wanted to go there.
To play with his college homeboy, and they ship his ass out after a year.
They didn't win. We know the cost of losing.
They were not going to win, and it was not on Derek Carr.
People get fired when you don't win. Those are facts.
We had,
you know why Bill
17
Belichick
point
been the
lead,
head
TP.
coach of the Patriots for so long? Because he don't lose. You know why Mike Tomlin has been the coach of the Steelers since Bill Cowher retired? Do anybody in the chat even remember who Bill Cowher was? Just know that
Oh, God.
It's a long ass time ago.
Within my lifetime, and I'm 35, the Steelers have had 3 coaches. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher.
No, within my lifetime, 50 years, they had 3 coaches.
No, they had somebody before Chuck Noll. It had to be. It had to be.
Oh, man.
I had to look it up.
We got to look that one up. I got to think.
I know within my lifetime, it's been Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
So, amidst all these, should Lamar Jackson get paid? I be listening to the radio while I'm working and stuff, and people just say crazy stuff, right? And I almost wrecked when somebody said
Hey,
that
Troy,
Joe
how old are
Burrow,
you?
50,
What year? 69?
72,
You are
72.
absolutely right. Chuck Noll was the coach from 69 to 91.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
then
the
Bill
only coach.
Cowher from 92 to 06, and then Tomlin 07 to present. The Steelers, that is insane. That is insane. That is some what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 69 to 91. 22 years.
Wow.
Then you got 14 years from Bill Cowher. And the only reason he retired was so he could spend more time with his daughters.
Yep.
That was the only reason he retired. He finished with a 62% win percentage. Mike Tomlin's at 64% win percentage. But needless to say, all I'm saying is when you win, you keep your job. When you lose, you don't. Easy.
Shit.
Well, so these radio hosts are determined to make me lose my mind because one host said that Joe Burrow is like Joe Montana, and I almost wrecked because it's a few things Joe Montana is and ain't, and the number one thing he ain't is a loser. That's number one. Joe Montana gets to the Super Bowl, it's 100% he gonna win. Ain't no questions, ain't no helmet catches, ain't no wide receivers you ain't never heard of winning. None of that. Joe is gonna win the game. Joe Burrow is like, he's not like Joe Montana. He's like Joe Namath. He got a lot of mouth and a lot of losing. That's Joe Burrow. What happened to everybody? Did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
But yeah, this is when I tell you, and we say some outlandish stuff on this podcast, but all this distractive talk to keep Lamar Jackson from getting $6 million a year, y'all can stop it. He gonna get 60. If Baltimore don't give it to him, Atlanta or maybe even the Bucks will give it to him. I mean, Marlo already paying for the season ticket, so they might as well give him 60 million.
Might as well.
So, but we didn't get a chance to talk about the Super Bowl.
I mean, let's start it with before the Super Bowl could even kick off. The Philadelphia Eagles fans decided to boo the Walter Payton Man of the Year award recipient.
It's Philly. They booed Santa Claus.
You guessed to be the most classless fans in the world. This ain't have nothing to do with football. We are celebrating a man for his contributions in the volunteering aspect outside of football. That wasn't the time to boo. I talk as much shit about Dak Prescott, the quarterback, as the next person. The only person that probably talk more shit about him than me is LaShawn McCoy, who is also an Eagle. But we're not going to boo a man receiving the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Just shows me you have no class.
The Philly fans booed Santa Claus.
I'm happy they lost.
They booed Santa Claus.
They'll boo anybody.
Anybody.
I looked at my wife when that happened and I said the Eagles lost this game. They lost it off sheer disrespect for his humanitarian efforts. Because you just put such bad juju on your organization by doing that. So I was happy they lost. And before the game, I was like, oh, man, I'm rooting for the Eagles tonight. They booed Dak. I said, go, Patty. And like I said, I don't like the Cowboys or Dak Prescott, but I'm not going to boo somebody that's winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. That's not even an award you win. You earn that.
Yeah, by the work you do in the community.
Exactly.
I applaud anybody who do work in the community. Also, shout out to Rihanna's team who hid the fact that she was pregnant and did the biggest baby bump reveal in the history of the world. So, that being said, since Russell Wilson ain't never gonna get into the Super Bowl, can we have Sierra as the next halftime person? Because I feel like she has earned a halftime show. It would be interesting to watch, and I think it would be great.
What music has she made lately?
First of all, you think this is about music? It is not. This is just a perverted individual.
Wow!
Who wants to see Russell Wilson's wife gyrate and motivate on the stage.
You know what? Bring back Snoop and Drake. That halftime show was lit.
Yeah,
Look, I didn't even watch the Rihanna halftime show. You know what I did during that 45 minutes? I came in the room, played Madden, and drunk me about 2 or 3 beers. That's what I did during the halftime. I had no interest. I had no interest.
Yeah, I had no interest in halftime. I will say this: if we cannot get Neighbor Lady, I will be more than happy to settle for Jill Scott.
Give me Snoop and Drake.
Hey, Miss Scott, it's me. It's your boy.
That was the most nostalgic halftime show ever. And then they did it for Nip too. So I was feeling that.
Yeah. Well, again, if I'm going to talk about the All-Star game, I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. Can we start the Super Bowl just a little bit earlier so my little guys can watch the Super Bowl? That's all I'm asking.
Or you could just not let them go to school the next day and keep them up. Be a real dad. No,
show your parent skills.
Look, Super Bowl in my house, my kids gonna be up watching.
So the way the mother of my children work,
that's they get overruled that day.
No, my son ain't going to school because he watched the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's. Hey, Melissa. Great to see you. We'll chat later. So I had some takeaways from the Super Bowl. First off, that vaunted pass rush. They ain't show up. They ain't show up. Patrick Mahomes should never be outrunning your defensive line. I ain't saying Patrick Mahomes is slow.
On one leg, too.
Yeah, on one leg.
If your defensive line give up 35, if your defense gives up 35 points, it's 38 points. It's about the coach not adjusting to what he was getting.
I mean, this ain't your average offense, though. This ain't your average offense.
It ain't. But God, dog, they did what they wanted to do.
Here's my only gripe about the whole Super Bowl, because I think it was well played on both sides, both teams.
Yeah.
If you're calling the game one way, call it that way the entire game.
The whole game.
Don't wait till it's third down, game on the line, to pull the little yellow hanky out your sack. Keep it tough. Because you ain't pulled it out all game. They've been holding on both sides. They've been holding calls, offensive line, holding hands to the face, grabbing jerseys. They were doing this, that, and the third. And y'all kept them yellow hankies tucked until it was third down, game on the line. You robbed every fan of an exciting finish.
Yeah.
We didn't want to see that. Great game until the last 2 minutes, and you absolutely ruined it. Ruined.
I watched that play over and over again, right?
Was it holding?
Being honest, if I'm being honest, there was holding. I also got to ask the question because somebody got to ask the question. Juju can't beat you. Like Juju ain't outrunning your grandma. Juju can't be the one to beat. Now I'm glad Juju got a Super Bowl because I think he went through some stuff in Pittsburgh with AB and he had to deal with some of that stuff. But Juju can't be the one to beat you.
And here's another thing. Like, I played defensive back. What's worse? A defensive holding call that lets the other team run the clock out and kick a field goal, or you giving up a touchdown? What's worse? In that situation, what's worse? Because I've grabbed receivers when I knew I was beat because I didn't want to give up a touchdown. But it wasn't a situation where giving them a first runs the clock out. If they score, there's still over a minute left in the game. And that play, he was worried about getting beat for a touchdown, which is why he grabbed him. But if he scores the touchdown, your offense has the opportunity to go down and score. But by you grabbing him and you giving them a free first down, now you ain't got no timeouts. You can't stop the clock. They essentially end the game. That ended the game. A touchdown wouldn't have ended it. Like you gotta have some type of situational awareness and understand where you are in the game. That's like J.R. Smith caught that rebound and took off going back up the court like he had time.
I'm going to say this. Jalen Hurts came in the league, earned the starting job, went to the playoffs, lost, came back. They got him a wide receiver, and he went to the Super Bowl. If Philly can keep a bulk of their staff together, of that team together, they got a shot at going back to the Super Bowl and possibly winning. Based on Jalen's improvement. He's shown that he can improve as a passer. He's shown that he can improve as a leader. Like, he has grown. But what I will say is this. We got to stop putting Patrick Mahomes in the lexicon of great quarterbacks because he's still young. He's done a lot, but he's still young. He's better than Tom Brady was at this stage in his career because Tom Brady was a.
I thought you was the give them their flowers while they here guy. Thought that was you.
I mean, I am to an extent. But we're going to go he gonna go. Oh God, I can't believe y'all finna make me actually say this shit. So he gonna go from Peyton Manning to just jumping over Tom Brady.
Nobody said he was better than Tom Brady.
Oh, they're talking about it. They're talking about it. There's the discussion that he's better than Tom Brady right now.
If you entertain what these idiots are talking about, you part of the problem too.
And I'll admit, like I'll be driving and I'm ready to pull up on somebody's radio station and find out who want the smoke. Because the next person that say that Joe Burrow is Joe Montana, we're gonna need to have some conversations outside.
We cannot compare 6 years worth of career to 22. That's my issue. Joe Burrow been in the league 3 years. Cannot compare 3 years to the 16 that Joe Montana put in. Cannot do it. Meet me at year 10. Then I'll start making some big comparisons. But until then,
he might not be around year 10 because this man's still getting sacked at a high clip.
But he's not hurt though. He's not looking hobbled. He's not taking big hits. I'm talking about direct slam on your neck hits like Tua be taking. He's not taking Tua hits. Tua gets demolished out there. That man ain't gonna make it another 2 years.
They need to send him to gymnastics so he can learn how to fall all over again.
No, we're getting to the point where playing football is detrimental to his health long term. If he continues at this rate, he will you cannot be a competent doctor and clear him to play. He should not be allowed to play if he continues to take hits how he's been taking and the rate of concussions he's been at. Cannot do it. Tom Brady never experienced that.
Yeah.
Which is why he was able to play for so long. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he's shown that he'll take some hits. Get twisted up. He basically played on one leg. Now, they was like, oh, he's completely healed from his high ankle sprain. Now, and I'm watching this, and then my wife's like, oh, he was hurt? I was like, let me tell you something. I sprained my ankle. Bad. Not as bad as what he did. And I was still in pain a month later. There is no fucking way this man is not hurting. I don't care how many drugs they give him. There's no way he's not hurt. He's still gonna play. He gonna play.
Yeah.
But he is hurt. And they are telling us that no, he's 100%. He's good to go. He took one hit in that game and was hobbling the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You don't heal from an ankle sprain in 2 weeks. You don't. It's physically impossible. Modern medicine is not that advanced to where we can cure people of ankle sprains in 2 weeks. It just does not work.
So I'm like I said, for the most part, the game was good and exciting. It was just, that short amount of time where it had got kind of crazy. So one of the craziest stories that happened earlier this year in college basketball, 2 former University of Alabama basketball players shot a young lady in January. And one of the young men associated with the shooting, Brandon Miller, who brought the gun to the player, a former player, was allowed to play basketball the other night. So initially I had said, I told Marlo, I said, hey, the people who are in charge of basketball at Alabama have failed this young man because there's no way he should have played. Credit to this young man, if that's what the term I want to use. He put up 40 points last night. 40 points. And I don't even. This story is so bad all the way around. You got a young lady dead because of a conversation, because some dudes got their feelings hurt, and another dude who brought the gun, who coach said he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, he put himself in that place with that gun. And somehow Brandon Miller has not been charged with a crime. Now he's fully cooperating with law enforcement, which is probably why he hasn't been charged. But this is absolutely nutty. Absolutely nutty. And the only thing I can say about it is that if people wonder why there's a decline in college basketball, that's it. That is it right there.
I tell you what, he was at the DA office singing like a bird.
Yeah.
Singing.
He is a first round draft pick. Absolute first round draft pick.
He was snitching harder than Gunna did on Young Thug.
It is. This is. Of course, the Lightning is losing. It's just bad. It's just bad. It is just bad, and I just got to leave it right there. I literally just got to leave it right there. So it's a shame Marlo is dozing off, because this Hall of Fame class. Oh, TP. So, you know Rondé Barber made the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
But okay. So just to get the announcements out of the way, because I know y'all gonna be happy. Rondé Barber, Don Coryell, who he should have been in there a long time ago. Absolute genius with the passing game. Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko, part of the Sack Exchange in New York. Back in my youth, them boys, they would get 40 sacks a season and don't beat Miami and don't make the playoffs. Darrelle Revis, Ken Riley, Joe Thomas. Y'all happy Joe Thomas made it. Zach Thomas is in the Hall of Fame. This shit is a go. Yeah, it's just a boys club. This is nothing to talk about. And DeMarcus Ware. So first off, Ken Riley getting into the Hall of Fame, well deserved, life well lived, did a lot for Florida A&M. How you gonna have Rondé Barber and Darrelle Revis in the same class? Because one of these things do not belong. One of them dudes can cover. One of them dudes can get hidden and blitz. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And the great part about it is I can talk shit in Marlo's sleep, and he really can't say nothing about it. But Rondé Barber claim to fame is that he couldn't cover nobody. Mm-hmm. And he's in the Hall of Fame with Darrelle Revis and Ken Riley. Elite cover corners. But, you know, I mean, that is what it is. But it ain't no way somebody's going to make believe Zach Thomas deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Because if we just letting people in for just showing up to work, I'm gonna go ahead and submit my application to the Hall of Fame, because I feel like I work real hard every day. I show up to work. I do my job. I should be in the Hall of Fame. Oh my God. Oh boy. All right. It's been a few weeks, and that's been on me. These few weeks we've been kind of gone. And to the fans, I want to apologize, but I was out here in these streets getting my money. I had to get my money right. So that was on me. It wasn't on these gentlemen. What I would like to say though is that going forward, we most definitely will be here every Thursday. Probably not 2 hours, but we'll definitely be here every Thursday. This week, I'll tell you what I got on my mind. It's that time of year, the spring training. And again, the Rays don't have a stadium. And what I would like to say to Stu Sternberg, the owner of the Rays, it's okay to be humble. You can go back to the city of St. Pete. You can go back to Pinellas County Commissioners and be like, hey, that area in North Pinellas, I say would be a good spot for a new stadium. It's right off the interstate. People can get there. And I'm going to spend some money on the team being great so we can be successful, just like the Tampa Bay Lightning, although not necessarily tonight since they're losing to Buffalo. But they can, do their thing. It don't take much for this community to get behind your team. Spend some money, act like you got some common sense, and we'll be there for you. But right now, for me, I'm just gonna call you my daddy Rays because there ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna support a loser, even though I'm a Raiders fan. I'm not gonna support that crap. Every time you get to the World Series, you run into Houston and get smacked around because they spend money on their players. But again, I digress. I'll let that go. What you got, TP, since Marlo's sleep?
I mean, he had a long day, man. That's That's the working man right there.
Yeah, and everybody should know Marlo is a general contractor, construction company. So when y'all are just waking up, he already been at work for 2 hours. So we're just happy he can make it.
He gets up and hits it. But NFL season is over. NBA All-Star game is over. We into the pivotal point of the NBA season. This is when I start paying attention. And what I notice is there's a lot of hype, but not a lot of action from a lot of teams. Memphis, Dallas, Phoenix. There's so much hype. Man, if the world was built on hype, we'd be living like the Jetsons right now. But it ain't built off of that. It's built off reality and what you can actually do. And right now, I don't know. It's a toss-up in the West and the East. But we're going to figure it out. XFL, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, you can get you a free subscription on ESPN Plus. Get you a 7-day and check out a game. See if you like it. If you're an avid football fan, a fan of the sport, then you might enjoy it. I did. Give it a look, see if you like it. Come back and let us know. I think giving players more opportunities to show the world what they can do will only improve the overall sport. Because we see with baseball, AA, AAA, before the majors. Basketball got the D League, G League, all the extra leagues where the players that haven't been starting or made active rosters can actually showcase what they can do. And now we have the XFL and the USFL is also coming. So potentially, like I said earlier, we have 48 weeks of football. It ain't nothing to miss on. We also have the NFL Combine kicking off next week, February 27th to the 6th. This is when we start looking at next year NFL. Who's gonna be the contenders? Who's gonna bounce back from bad seasons? Those teams that's picking in the top 10 don't want to be picking in the top 10 next year, but statistics show a lot of them still will be picking in the top 10. You just hope that it ain't your team. But we got a lot to see this weekend. XFL, NBA getting serious, and the Combine kicking off. But we'll have more to talk about that next week. I appreciate everybody. Sorry for the 2-week delay.
So, Marlo, I know there's been some big things happening at FAMU, so I'll be shocked if we don't hear some FAMU news this week.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like this. The sports world has seen what it looks like when you let the kids run the playground, i.e. NBA All-Star Weekend, i.e. NFL Flag Football Pro Bowl. Like it has gotten away from the true essence of what the sport is. Like there were a time where it was almost blasphemy for you not to play defense and you was guarding the best player in the world. It was a time where you went out to showcase how good of a athlete you were in your particular sport by playing the best of your ability in said sport. What they have transformed these games into has been nothing short of T-Tag. T-Tag, you it. T-Tag, I got you. Like people spend a lot of money to attend some of these events. And to put a product on the field or on the court that looks something like a students against teachers game at a high school is kind of laughable. I think that to take a game so beautiful as the game of football and make it a flag football, like when y'all play flag football, like what flag football game y'all played to get to the Pro Bowl? And y'all gonna come in there and play flag football? Like I think it's just they think the fans are stupid. If y'all want to minimize injury or minimize risk, don't have a Pro Bowl. Don't have an All-Star Weekend. All it is a break for the players to go and make some extra money and to party without having consequences. That's all it is. So either you put a product on the field that resembles the sport that you're having an all-star game for, or you don't do it. You don't do it. It's players that opt out of the Pro Bowl every year. Don't go. If they don't want to go, stop selecting them and put a good product on the field. I don't know. That's what I got to say about that. Sorry that we missed y'all for the last few weeks, but we'll do better to be better.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Okay, so before we go, I would be remiss to not bring up some of the things that's going on in Florida, and I didn't want to make that part of my party shot. Um, I just didn't want to make that part of my party shot, but I thought it was something to think about. We have a man here in the state of Florida who's trying to run for president, and during Black History Month, there is no Black history going on. I have a 6-year-old in first grade who has not come home and said, "Dad, I learned this in school." All my other kids have been able to do that. However, my son did learn about Virginia O'Keeffe. And for those of us who are old enough to remember, college art history, Virginia O'Keeffe had pictures that resembled vagina. So we have an issue with transgendered. We have an issue with gay authors. We have an issue with anything that references slavery as bad. But vagina paintings are okay. Just think about that. Y'all have a good week. I want y'all to go vote. Elections have consequences. These are the consequences. For Marlo, TP, we are out.
We see your finger.
I know.
Are you shooting us the bird?
I was not shooting a bird. Oh my.
We see your finger.
Oh my. Oh man. Yeah, man. Like my son was like, "Yeah, I can tell you about Virginia O'Keeffe," and I'm like, "I know that name somewhere. I know that name somewhere." So I hit Google. I went before I even got done googling it. I said vagina flowers. Vagina flowers. My 6-year-old
Well,
knows
what
about
I can
George
say
O'Keeffe.
is I would rather my 6-year-old learn about vagina flower. My 6-year-old boy learn about vagina flowers than have a transgender reading nursery rhymes and bedtime books to him.
I mean, I get. Don't get me wrong. I get all of that. I do. I get all of that. But it's the shit is literally insane. Like the Jackie Robinson children's book is banned.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Hank Aaron children's book is banned.
No, the first Black astronaut, you can't find him nowhere in Orange County Public Library System. My daughter had to do a book report on it. Can't find no books. It's on one of the restricted lists.
They are going to run me out of the high school here in Muncie, Indiana. They're gonna run me out. You know the state of Indiana is 83% white.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what you're doing.
About to teach these white kids about slavery is what I'm finna do. They finna run me the fuck up out of there.
Not in the home of the KKK. Whew. Well, TP,
man, what is the weather like?
If you ever have issues, I'm in this Tesla. It might take me a few charges, but I'll get there.
If I die within police custody, I did not commit suicide.
All right, gentlemen. I am going to get to work on this stuff. We now have an agreement with GoDaddy that they won't jump on me if I go over 200 gigs now. I paid them an ungodly sum of money, so I don't want to hear they shit no more. So for 1 year, I'm good. Now at the end of that 1 year, they probably gonna start talking shit again, but I'm good for 1 year.
They're definitely gonna raise your rate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'll be there. Whew, I got a long drive. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Mama, I'm driving to West Palm Beach.
Well, you might want to go put your car on the battery charger.
Oh, I'm already topped off. I'm 270 already. It's 207 miles there, so by the time I get there, I know exactly where to go to get charged up. So I'm all
Hey,
set.
y'all know what's crazy? The first car was electric.
Oh,
The
wow.
first ever car was electric. But it didn't make enough money.
Mm-hmm. That's always what it is.
And the price to charge it wasn't feasible because there was no place to charge it.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We sitting there looking
You
at
know,
electric cars like that's the newest technology when it was been around the entire time. It just don't make
Yeah. Now the whole car was a battery because they didn't have lithium or any ion batteries back then.
What happens when the world runs out of lithium?
No.
Oh, it'll be another rechargeable source.
You sure?
Absolutely.
They find something.
It's already in development.
All you gotta do is wherever they tan up Africa, that's gonna be the new source of energy.
I mean, they've been tearing up Africa for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Man,
The only problem is now they can't tear up Africa like they tore it up before.
man, I don't know if y'all ever heard, read the history on Leopold. That is the worst shit in human history.
I don't know. There's been some bad things in human history.
Nah, Leopold, what he did to Africa is still have effects to this day. And that was in the late 1800s, 1900s.
Shit. The slave trade.
Even is worse than that.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Look up Leopold's ghost.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Let me
King
get
of
out of here, guys. I will. As soon as I get everything posted, I'll send y'all the link.
All right.
All right.